As a father of four, one of the scariest thoughts for me is what if something happened to my wife and I, and suddenly my kids were left alone? Would they survive? And even if they did, would the trauma be too much for them to live a normal, happy life in the future? Now here in America, we don't have much fear of this ever happening. There will always be someone to help in tragedies like this. But what if I told you that this is the literal reality for millions of children in Uganda? In Uganda, the average life expectancy is only 40 years old. And if a child is orphaned, their immediate family and friends will usually take them in. But when the average family has 8 to 10 children already, and when the average income is less than $3 a day, orphans are little better off in the home of a relative than they are on the streets. These precious children are often left with no other option than to raise themselves. Most often, the oldest child in the family will quit school, get married even as young as 10 years old, and get a job to provide for their younger siblings. This is called a child-headed family. A boy or girl no older than a 4th grader, suddenly thrust into the harsh world of raising children and even babies. How do child-headed families survive? Well, the truth is, most can't. Many such children may even die within a matter of months. Hope's Cry International works in a region of Uganda where child-headed families are especially common. By partnering with the local communities, we can remove some of the burden by helping them provide for their families and supporting them to continue their education. We also work with the adults in these communities to show them how the gospel calls us to care for one another and to take responsibility for the most vulnerable among us. The hope of the gospel has already transformed communities in Uganda to create safer, healthier, and more stable environments for these precious children. When you give to Hope's Cry, you make the gospel more available to those who desperately need hope. You become the hands and feet of Jesus to a child in Uganda. Your gift gives them the opportunity to hear the good news that there is hope for eternity.